We just got a hot jobs report in. Yeah, that's not good for crypto. Wait, what? Good jobs is bad for crypto? Yeah, I'll explain it. Now, we also got Jamie Dimon out there saying that stablecoins won't be that big. But I lived at the times where people were still doing the old credit card swipey thing with the carbons. So yeah, maybe JP Morgan is just being negative because he thinks some of that power is going to go away from banks. XRP couldn't hold 230. Told you so. It sucks, but the big sure as hell don't want us to get past that 230 mark and have fun with the big guys out there price-wise. We'll talk XRP price along with...
I say lots of naughty things, so here's your warning.
A hot jobs report is bad for crypto. Yeah, I'll explain it to you and it'll make perfect sense. What do we see up on the screen? A mix of red and green. But before we talk about the red and green, you know the deal, Lemon Peel. It's the day before the 4th of July and we do what? We do your comments. Why? Because you, the viewer, matter most. Happy Thirsty Thursday. I still gotta be good, so I'm drinking agua. Agua pura, my good friends. XRP Speedboat's hanging out with us is, yep, same as the past 2 weeks. Sold again early morning at $2.30, and you know what's next? Buy at $2.18 and take profit. Rinse, repeat, take care, man. For real. Seems to be what's happening time after time again with XRP. You buy sub 215, you sell at 230, you make some profit-a-roni. We've been in the friend zone, the rinse and repeat zone. I know. You're like, but bro, it's only like 5% gains or something like that. Yeah, but if you do it time and time again, you get to stack those gains. You zoom out and you play those patterns time and time and time again, and you keep hitting that girl. I mean, you keep hitting the price action. Oh, yeah. Taxing that ass. Look, these patterns repeat for so long and then they break. But the reality is look, XRP keeps trying to push that 230 mark and it keeps getting pushed back. We'll talk price action at the end, but well done on recognizing the obvious pattern that's been staring us all in the face. Northern Redneck 1 says, so if Diddy gets off, literally, figuratively, and in court, does he get to keep all of the baby oil? Yeah, like what happens to the cases and cases of baby oil that were in the evidence locker? Does it go back for future parties that he has? Good question there, Northern Redneck. Live it. Alan McMaster's hanging out with us. Says, good morning, brother. Gotta look out for jumblies, balls, ball sacks, and choo-choo bitches. That's right, I throw it all out there. That language warning in the beginning isn't just cute. No, it's a real one. Remember back in the day when you used to buy those CDs and they had that explicit warning parental advisory in the bottom corner? Yeah, that's my version in the beginning of the video. I hate the scammers that start out, your video serves as a beacon of light. Yeah, I know. Please, everyone, just be careful with the scammers out there because remember, when crypto is hot, when money is flowing, scammers want a piece of your pie. Speaking of, I've been left unread. Bitcoin's hit at 109,566. Pay attention to BTC this holiday weekend, all right? As BTC rises, are we going to start touching all-time highs, and is that going to help pump the alts? Now, speaking of the alts, we still got a little bit of softness, right? I mean, think about it. BTC is at all-time highs. ADA's at 60 cents. BTC's at all-time highs. SOL's at 151. You see what I'm saying here? BTC's maintaining that dominance while a lot of the alts are struggling. Now, look, it sucks. I'm a massive fan of the alts, but my job is to bring you the news, good, bad, happy, or sad. Speaking as someone who's sad, JP Morgan's Jamie Dimon, boo. JP Morgan, wary of stablecoin's trillion-dollar growth bets, cuts them in half. Oh, man. JP Morgan on Thursday forecast stablecoin growth will only reach $500 billion by 2028, calling trillion-dollar projections far too optimistic, as there was little evidence of mainstream adoption of the dollar-pegged cryptocurrency. Look, I don't agree with this. Because for real, in my lifetime, I've grown up and I've seen, like I said, the little carbon swipey things, right, where you had to physically put the debit, or I'm sorry, it wasn't even debit card. Shit, we didn't even have that back then, where you would put the credit card on the machine, swipe it, and you had to do all that. I remember when people were using checks in cash for the majority of times. And then I started seeing all the, yes, everyone, the debit cards, everyone doing debit. And then now I'm seeing cryptocurrency. So yeah, I think it's going to be big. But what do we need? We need the regs to get there. And then we need crypto to be building stuff to where people don't even realize they're using crypto rails to make this stuff happen. So all these big bank players out there like JP Morgan, DIMON, and all those players out there are just upset because I think they see what the future is. The future is DeFi taking a bite out of CeFi. All right, now let's talk about that hot jobs report. Bitcoin seesaws as hot jobs report extinguishes rate cut hopes. Okay, so that's really what it comes down to, okay? So Jerome Powell's been saying for a long time that the economy is strong. So if a hot jobs report comes in with a whole bunch of new jobs coming in, Jerome goes, oh, so the economy is stronger than expected. If the economy is stronger than expected, that means the consumer can tolerate higher rates for longer, right? So if jobs are strong, rates can stay higher for longer, which means what? Yeah, crypto can stay down. Why does crypto stay down with higher rates? Especially the alts. Remember that. It's more so the alts than BTC. Here's why. Because with higher rates, it's riskier. So if you want to build on these chains, the venture capital companies, the big companies that build, they use a lot of loans to make that happen. Those loans are more expensive because rates are higher. The labor market was stronger than expected in June, with U.S. employers adding 147,000 non-farm jobs in June, while the unemployment rate ticked down to 4.2%. That extinguished hopes of interest rate cuts later this month, while traders penciling in a 4.7 chance on Thursday, 24% from a day before. So that tells you the delta that happened. See, so it's not just like balls, jokes, and jumblies and naughty words. No, there's like learning that's happening here. So what you're seeing is that it's a mix of jobs reports and inflation report. Then don't forget, we've got CPI coming. If we get any spike in CPI, then Jerome can do what? Well, we've got now inflation coming. We can't lower rates. You see what I'm saying? Jerome is trying to find every excuse that he can to not cut rates. But what my job is to keep you informed of all the big macro situations that are happening so that you can have better expectations of what's going to happen. Now, Circle, this is important. Circle mints $250 million. Whoa, $250 million on Solana as Ivy integration may enhance the Euro. Remember, I've got a German background. My name is Klaus. Euro on-ramps and fund exchange services. Circle's recent issuance of $250 million on Solana reflects a significant shift towards blockchain-based stablecoin solutions. But then again, you got JP Morgan that said what? The idea that stablecoins will replace traditional money for everyday use is still far from reality. Okay, as we just put yet another $250 million on there. Okay, look, here's the thing, okay? Like I said, you got some players that don't believe it, some players that do. Do you want to know how big and how popular stablecoins are right now? $250 billion in market cap. And all this, it's linked in the description down below. $253 billion. In the last 7 days, we've added $2.1 billion right now. Who has the most stable coins on their chain? Ethereum. Yeah, think about that. Ethereum has the most with 140 billion. Tron has the second most on their chain with 80 billion. Solana, who we just talked about with Circle, right? Solana has the third most with 10.5 billion. Next is Binance Smart Chain at 3 billion. Base is 4.2 billion. They should just fucking leave the number right there so we all can party on Base. Whoa, that was actually pretty good. Klaus, way to go. Then after that, we've got what everyone, hold on. We're gonna sort this by size. Then we go to Avalanche with 1.3 billion. Don't forget Arbitrum has 5.7 billion. So you can see there's billions and billions and billions put on chain. Some of our favorites that we cover on the channel. Number 11 is Stellar with 627 million. Most of that is Benji, so retail can't touch that. That sucks for us. Hedera's got 126 million at 18th. XRPL is at 24th with 75 million. So stables are big, and the volumes that these stables are absolutely bonkers big as well. In fact, if we go to some of these stables here to show you how big they are, look at USDC. Okay, let's go to USDC real quick. We'll go to USDT. Look at the volumes. 24-hour volume with USDC, 11.5 billion. That's taking volume away from your JP Morgans, right, from your Wells Fargo. Now, granted, I know a lot of it's trading volume, but it's still something that the banks can't touch, right? Look at Tether's volume, 85 billion. You're telling me the banks aren't pissed about that? So, yeah, Jamie Dimon and JP Morgan says the idea that stablecoins will replace traditional money for everyday use is far away from reality. But I still remember all the people out there that said no one's going to want to carry a plastic card around that represents money. And here everyone uses that. No one carries cash anymore, right? Oh, gosh, everyone. It's the banks just are afraid of losing control. Let's talk about price action for XRP. We're what, everyone? We got rejected again at 230. There's the 24-hour chart up on the screen. Yeah. What does that tell you? We did the same thing again. We were hanging out. We ran up to 230. We touched it a few times. Touch the subscribe button if you haven't already. Come on, it's free. Like, it's free. And you're going to get news coverage on the 4th of July. So while you're barbecuing, while you're drinking, while you're watching fireworks, I'm going to be working. So yeah, do a brother a solid, especially I'm wearing a White Sox hat, so you know I'm not like some bandwagon fan. I'm not like Eazy-E or Dr. Dre or anything wearing a Sox hat in Compton. No, I'm hanging out in South Carolina. I'm just a real White Sox fan, and I bring you the news, so help me out. So yeah, that's what we got. Volume's still healthy, 4.25 billion, so exchanges are making money. Let's go to those candlesticks and see exactly what's happening right now, because what is happening is what? Look at the range-bound zone we've been in for a while. Yeah, the last big pop of price we had right here was in what? Mid-May. Now look, you go before mid-May, you're talking the last big pop in price we had was in March. So wait a minute. In the last 3 months, we've had one really good pop in price where we got to like the 260 mark. Since then, we have been range-bound basically between 210 and 230, which for those of you that are new, that's called the friend zone, okay? That's when, like, there's this chick that you're into, you know, she's hot or she's cute. Maybe she's a little nerdy and wears glasses and, you know, you kind of like her, right? But she doesn't like you that way, so she puts you in the friend zone. That's what XRP price is between 210 and 230. Now, what we've seen, though, is in that range, you have been able to play that like a fiddle since. And in fact, we have seen plenty of times here, especially recently. Look at this. Look at this. Look at all these daily candlesticks where 230 has been the range. Zoom into the 15-minute candlestick and look what happens. Yeah, same pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, there's so many of them. Five in the last, 3 weeks. We have seen that pattern play out time and time and time again. You could still be greedy and buy sub $2. Yeah, you probably got to wait once a month or something like that. But we know the crypto market is always very shaky and those opportunities happen. But XRP right now, whoever is controlling the price, and don't tell me that, no, it's not. No, someone is obviously controlling the price because whenever we get to that 230 mark, look at this move right here. Oh, it's happened right there again. It happened right there. Oh, it happened right here. It happened right here. Whenever we get to that 230 mark with XRP, oh, it happened right here again. Whenever we get to it, we get rejected. So, a lot of people are feeling very comfortable to play the dips and tips with that. There's no harm in that. You do you. No one ever went broke taking profit. A lot of people like to stack sub $2. No harm there either, because guess what? You could set it up for a nice explosive move later. The reality is right now, what? 230 is what you're gonna get. Why do I say that with such confidence? Well, because as of now, we're not getting rate cuts. As of now, we're not getting regs anytime soon. You think the stablecoin bill is going to pump the alts? No, not really. Who's that going to really help? Bitcoin and the stables, right? Now, that being said, the Clarity Act, it's going to take a few months probably for it to get to us, so we got some time. So I think a lot of people are going to play this range. I think you're going to see a lot of bots and a lot of market makers play this range as well. Can you get some times where XRP could pump outside that 230, go to 245, 250? Sure, but we know it hasn't been holding. Because we need the real juice, the real good stuff. In fact, Ripple applied to be a big bank, a federally bank. What happened there? That was this pumperoni. We got up there to 233 and then we got pushed right back down again. So read between the lines, and I think a lot of you are playing between the lines. Too bad it's friend zone lines. And yes, my promise too is to bring you the news while it's the 4th of July holiday. In fact, I'm going to be going on vacation, and yes, I'll even be bringing you the news then. I will not be bringing you the news, though, on my travel day, because I'm going to be in a metal tin can flying at around 30-something thousand feet. So no, on travel days, I will snort. But until then, you get the news. Now, recently, the news has been what? Pretty interesting. Ripple doing the bank thing. You got some RLUSD minting going on. You got some XRP price suppression going on. You got the SEC that screwed us over that said, yo, we'll approve your basket ETF that had some SOL, XRP, and ADA in there. And then they're like, no, no, we're not going to give it to you. Well, why? Well, because we're not ready yet. And it's like, oh, dude, come on. The HBAR ETF got denied as well. By the way, all these dates for the, quote, final approval on these ETFs, they're all lining up between September and November. Yeah, for the final approval where they can't, like, delay it anymore. So the reality is your rate cuts, your regs, your ETFs, dude, September, October, November looks to be like it is going to be just an absolute awesome, amazing news time for crypto. But, like, what until then, though? Like, does that mean we just get stuck in this range-bound zone? Does that mean something cool is going to happen between now and then that just shocks us? That would be freaking awesome. But for now, it's like, oh, man, the bots and the market makers are just keeping us suppressed. And it's frustrating, too, because, like, when I look at the charts, right, I see Bitcoin, like, 2% away from all-time high. Yet some of our favorites are like 40, 50, 70% away from all-time high. And you're like, dude, the alts, man, just give us something. But I get it. Rates are high. Markets are tight. The bigs out there are tight as well, with Jerome leading the charge, saying no rate cuts. The Clarity Act, oh, I don't know. A lot of us don't have confidence that that's even going to get passed without a major fight. The stablecoin bill has its own problems, you know, especially in the House. By the way, the House is doing the big, beautiful bill debate thing right now. So, yeah. I mean, Diddy got his thing. You see what I'm saying? We got problems. White Sox got problems. So, I'll keep you informed. So, as stuff happens, hit that notification bell so you can be one of the first, because that's kind of how news works, right? If you're one of the first to hear it, it's better off for you. So, hit that notification bell. I've got water because I still have to be a good noodle because I'm still sick, because they have got me like on everything under the sun right now. I'm at least stable. See, I've got this one too. Got this one too. This is for the asthma, so I always got this one. So yeah, tons of stuff, but I'm at least stable, luckily. Then I go see the specialist when I come back from my vacation, which is going to be awesome. I'll be bringing new coverage while I'm on vacation. Other than that, any announcements or anything I'm thinking of that I'm forgetting? I don't think so. I think I got everything figured out. If anything comes up, I'll let you know. That's how it works in this channel. It's a two-way street. Anything I missed, let me know in the comments down below. Everything's in the description down below. Choo-choo what? Oh, yeah, Garmin's remind me. Choo-choo biz nachos. I forgot.